Alright, so as you can tell, we've had an amazing morning. I mean, it's been gorgeous. It's such a gorgeous, sunrise. And the best part of everything is I took a shower. So right after we finished talking yesterday, filming, and a couple hours later, I was able to take a shower. I took a shower this morning. And so I'm pretty happy about that. I'm smelling good, feeling good. Music's on par, right? See what I do to wake up in the morning. 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, whatever it is. So it's always gonna be music, and it's gonna be tea. Yeah, green tea with a little bit of caffeine on it. I can't do coffee. Sorry guys, I'm not a coffee guy. Only because of my biological responses, right? Biologically, it's too much for me. Actually, I feel like I'm already pretty high naturally, and with coffee, it's just like I just reach my limit and I crash, and it gives me the jitters and makes me feel like crap. So yeah, I don't do coffee. So although I'm Colombian American, and Colombians have one of the best coffee, I don't do coffee. But so I'm a horrible Colombian, whatever. It's not my fault. Blame my body. So today we're gonna be getting to Los Angeles in the next 2 hours. I already rented a car. I already got a couple of things aligned. I already got the hotel. I'm gonna be staying just for today, and tomorrow morning I'm flying back to Chicago, then doing it all over again. And after that, I'm going to Houston. My family's coming from Miami, and you guys are gonna be able to meet my mom, my sisters. I think my niece is coming. I just talked to the babysitter that's taking care of Zemi. She said that Zemi's great, she's good, she's barking a lot. Like I already knew, she hates to be in a cage, which makes sense. Not that she's always keeping her in a cage, but that she's barking a lot when she puts her in a cage at night, when it's time to go to sleep. And that she's peeing a lot. So I told her, you gotta have to have a hard hand on her. Siberian Huskies, when they're puppies, man, they're just all over the place, pretty crazy. So I told her, hey, with me, she stopped peeing and pooping inside the house. But I guess with her, she's just letting her run around and do whatever she wants. And yep. So if you have a Siberian Husky, make sure you keep a hard hand. But she's good. She's happy. She's safe. Ty is good too. The cat. The guy I just rented a room to. He says Ty's good. Ty's really cool, really calm. So, and cats are really easy to take care of. But yeah, so that's what we have on the agenda for today. As for what I was mentioning, going to LA and checking it out. I'm gonna do my best to just drive everywhere, see everything, really get the gist of what LA is all about. Yeah, on the way over here, hopefully you guys have been enjoying the scenery. There's nothing more beautiful than driving through the desert and just having the sunrise. And the best thing about everything is that it's been amazing. The temperature's been great. Coming from 5 degrees, it's been just amazing. The temperature's been great. The winds have been great. The roads have been beautiful. Yeah, I'm really grateful for this morning. But I think that's all for right now. Let's go ahead and keep trying to get to the location to turn into this RV, so we can, be free from that, and get the car and head to LA, and just more or less just film everything I want to film and really get the gist of everything. So, all right, let's keep going. See you guys in a second. Alright, so I finally got to the location. I'm gonna go ahead and just hurry up and turn this thing in, just in case I'm not stepping on anybody's toes or I'm not messing around with any disclosure agreements or anything like that. Once I get this done, we'll go ahead and get on the road and head to LA. Alright guys, so I already turned in the RV and got that over with, and I just got here to the San Bernardino train station so I get the next train out to LA. But while we're here, we'll go ahead and just talk for a little bit, because I had an epiphany on something huge, not something very common, not a very big topic a lot of people talk about, at least around all the people I've been around, but it's a huge thing for me. At least it's a sensation that I haven't really felt since I left high school, I guess. But let me tell you, I just realized that I'm exactly where I want to be, right, for the rest of my life. Like, I don't feel like I have to like kind of keep trying to figure it out, you know? Like, how many times do you graduate high school or graduate from anything or leave whatever it is, your city, you know, your school or whatever it is, and you're trying to figure out what is it that you want to do with the rest of your life? How are you going to make the money that you want to make? How is it that you're going to live for the rest of your life, you know, and etc., right? So, I mean, my story real quick is, you know, I graduated from high school, I went straight into college, and then I went to university. But in between all that, while I was in college, I had this crazy major accident, and you know, there's a lot of things that I was gonna hold back, but there's so many stories, you know, there's so many things that I've been through, but I guess this is one of those stories that I don't have to hold back. So let me go ahead and wait 1 second. All right, the guy in the speaker stopped. So what happened was, so I was in college studying for global business. I had a major accident, right? I went under an 18-wheeler truck. The quick story, because, you know, one day I will sit down and tell you the whole story, because we still have so much filming to do today. The quick story is, I went under an 18-wheeler truck after work, and I survived that. And after that, I went ahead and decided that I don't think I'm going to stop with the guy in the speaker this time, but I decided to take a trip to Europe and try to study humanity over there and prove a theory that everybody wants love and whatnot. So I took a trip to Bosnia, you know, to Croatia, to Italy, and I just started studying humanity, sat down, and I wrote this whole thing, which I turned into a book. Yeah, I do have that book still, but I'm planning to do this first before I publish that book. But either way, so I came back from Europe, and I changed my whole major. I was studying global business, and I decided, you know what, I want to do photojournalism, because it had to do with photography, and it had to do with something to do with writing. And my dad, you know, basically my stepdad. My dad is my stepdad, by the way. Every time I say dad, it's my stepdad. He's the one that raised me, and then my mom is my actual mom. But either way, getting interrupted again by the speaker. But either way, I came back from Europe, and I went ahead and changed my major from global business to photojournalism. I found my way into the University of Central Florida, and I just literally left Miami, and I just, you know, moved on to Orlando. And in Orlando, I went to UCF. I got myself into UCF, and I started studying, you know, photojournalism. And I realized I hated it, and then I changed, you know, my major within 5 minutes of being within that class, which was media law. I changed that, and I went to my advisor, and I asked them, what else do you have? And they said, you know, we have English literature, creative writing. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I got in that. I graduated as a writer, and ever since then, you know, I've been trying to push forth with the book, and then I figured it out. Then I had, you know, I met with 2 publishers, and then I had a team, and then I had, you know, one of my ex-girlfriends was my editor, and I realized, you know what, you know, my stepdad, you know, my dad always said, you know, do everything yourself. Everything yourself, even if it takes longer to do everything yourself. So that's where I'm on, right? So to keep going, basically, yeah, after I decided to do every single thing myself. I already graduated, so I could edit my own book, and then I realized, to have the success of the book, I got to make myself into a public figure, and all this stuff. But then at the same time, I've always wanted to be a motivational speaker. I've always wanted to do what I'm doing right now, and I just figured out in the last 3 hours that, man, this is what my personality gravitates towards, making films and talking to people and just going around the world talking to people. And then, eventually I know I'm going to get the publicity I need to become a motivational speaker as well. But that's not the only thing I'm going to be doing, right? I'm going to publish my book. I'm going to be doing this, doing that, because I'm just that type of person. But man, not going to lie, I wish in the last 12 years trying to figure out exactly what I was doing, what's crazy about it is that in the last 12 years, I did so many things that I wish I had filmed, right? I mean, it's just insane. I literally went to Europe, I don't know how many times, went to all these countries, met all these people. I even made it to the Vatican, in that first major trip. In that first trip, I went to go prove that theory. I got to the Vatican, didn't make it. Obviously, I was trying to create a foundation with them. I don't know what I was doing. But there's so many things. I mean, I just went through so many things to be able to get to this point. Because doing this is literally the title, I guess you say, not the subcategory to everything else that I was trying to figure out. This literally has the overlay to everything that I want to get done, and I don't know why it took so much longer, but it's not as easy, to start sometimes. I mean, at least for it is that easy and it is that simple. But for me, doing things right, I wanted a house. I wanted to, have my performance car in that house. I wanted to, have my business. I want to have everything before I start doing this, because I want to make sure I do it right. So it's crazy that, I got to this point, Yeah, it's just wild. It's just incredible that, I even got to this point, to this realization where I'm like, you know what, I can relax now and just keep doing what I'm doing. The algorithm that I figured out, the bit between the business, the contracts, and the videos and all this stuff, and the traveling, and it's gonna take its path. It's gonna grow. It's gonna become whatever it's supposed to become. But this is exactly where I need to stay, and it's gonna open all the doors that I need to. So it's an incredible sensation, because I'm the type of person that I don't stop changing, improving, learning, adapting, literally moving from place to place. I don't stop until I figure out exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, where I'm supposed to be at, and just get into that comfort zone. And it's crazy that I finally got that. Someone like me that's saying this, it's incredible, because since I was a kid, without going too crazy, it's incredible to understand that I could finally have some form of comfort in a part of my life, and yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna go too into it. Eventually, you guys will learn more about me, eventually. But getting to know me from the time I was young, I didn't grow up in let's say the most comfortable environment. It wasn't. It was just one of those places where I just didn't get comfort. But we'll get to that eventually. You guys will figure that out eventually. But huge epiphany. Guys, don't stop until you figure it out and you find that comfort and you find that track. And I'm gonna go ahead and stop now, because this background noise is really making it tougher to talk to you guys. And I'm not even sure if you guys are really getting my voice through without being interrupted from the background noise. So we'll just go ahead and stop here. But we still have a whole day ahead of us of filming, and let's make sure we do good. So let's keep going. Alright, so we're officially in LA. and just got an Uber, so I'm hurrying up to get the Uber so we go pick up the rental car. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and focus on that before the Uber leaves. So we'll go ahead and do that first. Hey, for Fernando. Appreciate you waiting for me. I'm gonna sure that Ford Fusion right there, that white one, is the one we're gonna be taking. That one. Yeah, alright, so I finally got into the rental car. Doesn't look too bad. It's a little beat up, but make sure you take pictures because you never know who's trying to scam you, right? So we'll go ahead and put in the address to be able to go to our hotel. From there, I'm gonna go ahead and go straight out and start filming the city, start seeing what we could do, and yeah, go from there. So let's go ahead and get this on the road. All right, so I decided before getting to the hotel to kind of drive around a little bit, see if I can find something to eat. But yeah, as you know, at first glance, you know, right now we're not in the heart of LA. We're right in the outskirts of it, and you know, it looks a little bit like Miami. It looks a little bit like Orlando. You know, some parts of Florida basically, and obviously other parts of the rest of the country in Texas and whatnot. But you know, there's something very, very different about California in general. But you know, right now as I keep looking at the city, you know, here you guys can see, you know, there's just something about the layout that's different. I still can't put my finger on it. You know, I'm driving around, I'm trying to look at everything, and you know, I can't really tell what is it exactly that's so different than what I'm used to. Just, you know, California or LA just has something different. Just has something real different. I think maybe it's the cars on the road. You know, I'm not completely sure, but you know, we'll get the finger on it. I'm not sure, but let's keep going. All right, we did a quick little circle around the area real quick, trying to get the kind of get the gist of the kind of what it is to live here. But I mean, easily you can see I know the demographics of this side of the world, this side of America, LA and California, is mostly African American, Hispanics, usually Hispanics from Central America and South America. Well, obviously, but mostly Central American, and Asians as well, which that's exactly what I've been seeing, right? But if you notice on when it comes to the housing, you know, they're gonna be older houses. You know, there's no real zoning or anything like that. And you see a lot of cars, you know, per house. So a lot of people are living with their families. You know, they're doing their best to kind of make rent and whatnot. Or, you know, they could be happily, you know, where they're at. But usually, it's gonna be, you know, just a working family. You know, everybody coming together, you know, living together so they can make rent more affordable. I mean, that's kind of like the life for a lot of us here in the United States, right? I'm lucky I live on my own, but look what I just had to do. You know, I just went ahead and rented out one of my rooms just because I want to be able to travel more and save some more money to be able to do this. So I mean, nobody here has it made. Like a lot of people think outside the United States, they think everybody in the United States is just rich, and that's not true. You know, we are helping each other out. We are working 2, 3, 4 jobs, you know. And there's a joke in Florida that says, you know, in Florida you need 3 jobs, a YouTube channel, and I don't even know, and a lot of people that you know. And honestly, look at here, you know. I'm not in Florida anymore, but I'm Floridian. I'm from Florida, and I got a YouTube channel. I got it from somewhere, right? But right now we'll go ahead and keep filming a little bit, see if I get something to eat. I'm just gonna go ahead and get something small and then go to the hotel, see if we can go back out. Oh, something I want to add real quick. I'm noticing that all of the cars are in really good shape. A lot of cars are in good shape. You know, I don't see many cars, you know, with crazy dents or accidents, and they look relatively clean. And I forgot how California really mandates, you know, when it comes to the regulations on cars, and you know, they really have a strict control on you know, the legalities behind, you know, all these cars. I mean, me as a person that love performance cars, California is the last state I would want to live in. You know, you can't have any, you know, any sounds coming from your car, any exhaust. You can't have any cool noises coming from it. You can't have any cool swaps. You know, I have a BMW that has a swapped, you know, Toyota motor in it. You know, and you can't do any of that stuff. I have one of my best friends living here. He says it sucks. He can't, you know, he can't work in his car. He can't work in his car in his driveway, not even inside his garage. And I know, you know, when I get to buy performance parts for my drift car, you know, there's all these, you know, we ship you know, the companies are saying we ship everywhere except California and the other 2 states, which is Hawaii and Alaska. You know, so now it's like, you know, we can ship to the 47. It used to be the 48 states. So it's crazy how, you know, I can't even ship car parts to my friend, you know. But on the plus side, you know, I do like how all these cars, you know, they're not beat up. In Florida is like the wild east, and we are literally, you know, pretty free in Florida when it comes to a lot of things. And one of those things are, you know, vehicles. I mean, you could register anything. You know, like, you know, the joke over there is you could put, you know, headlights, tail lights, and some blinkers on a shopping cart, and you'll be able to register it. All the cars are, you know, technically not being able to be registered from Japan and other places that are technically gray market cars. You could title it legally in Florida. So you guys know that if you want to buy a Skyline, you know, you car guys, you know, take it to Florida if it's before it's time. So, all right, we'll keep going. Just wanted to add that note.
Tactical beats.
I'm not gonna lie, it is a little more wild than some places in Miami, but it's almost exactly like certain places in Miami, at least the suburbs of Miami as well. One thing I did notice is there is probably a concentration of drugs here. You know, that's really normal when it comes to major cities. I mean, all around the world, major cities are full of drugs, and the reason why is because, I mean, why are they not going to be doing drugs when, you know, they haven't, you know, either been taught, been shown, or, you know, or any, I mean, they're struggling, they're stressed out, you know, they don't know how to get that stress out of their body, so they're going to go ahead and just, you know, fall into drugs. You know, when you don't have any help, when the system isn't helping, you know, when, you know, even if the system's perfect, but you know, you have little knowledge of what you're supposed to look for, you know, when you're struggling, you know, financially. You know, they're not out here giving pamphlets on how you can, you know, get help from the government, or to get help from, you know, certain institutions that are backed by the government to be able to help you, you know, afford rent, afford food, afford, you know, diapers for your babies, you know, or help you, you know, it doesn't matter if the whole nation, you know, is going under and has all the hope in the world, if that hope isn't shown you, if it isn't shown to you, you know, that's kind of one of the problems that we have here, you know, in the United States. But the point is that there's a lot of people that do drugs only because they feel stuck, they feel like they can't get that stress out of their body, you know, so they become alcoholics, so they become drug addicts, so they become whatever it is, because it's the only way to get that relaxation, that high, or whatever it is, to be able to, you know, survive and kind of feel as if, you know, they're not stuck in that position for the rest of their life. If you guys ever wanted to, you know, kind of figure out why there's a huge concentration of drugs, you know, in major cities like LA, you know, is because that's one of the reasons why there is such thing as a consumer for drugs, you know, and that's why, at the same time, that's where business is at, right? There's a lot of drug dealers because they know of how many people consume it. And but that's one thing I wanted to point out. One thing I definitely wanted to talk about when it comes to major cities. That's one thing you're going to be able to find, you know, in every major city. And one thing we're always going to be filming is, you know, kind of seeing that struggle. And in any major city that we're going to go to, you're going to see drugs. So keep that in mind. Alright, and I thought, you know, this was a new way of ordering some food, but it was just a pickup. It wasn't a drive-thru, it was just pickup. So, I haven't been to one of those first time. My fault, and I'm here getting frustrated. Alright, so I realized, you know, I'm in LA, and I should probably get something authentic. Authentic. So I decided to talk about. It's not authentic to any of the mixed cultures here, but hey, that's the American experience, right? And honestly, that is the American experience. You can't deny that, right? Drive-through guys, drive-through. This is why they make fun of the United States and everything junk food. Honestly, I'm starving. I've been looking for something to eat, and I just want to get to the hotel and relax a little bit, so I go back out. I usually eat healthy anyways. On the way over here, all I ate was carrots, bananas, and whatever, and I work out even while I'm in the RV. So Taco Bell it is for now. It's all good. And the drive-thru is closed for 10-15 minutes. I'm not sure why, so I'm starting to get hangry. I'm gonna go inside and get something to eat. Be right back. I just got out from eating and realized I didn't mention something. So those that don't know what Taco Bell is, it's a fast food chain here in the United States that includes, on top of all the fast food chain restaurants that we have, that include McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and Taco Bell is definitely one of them. It's a Mexican-American restaurant, which is actually more American than it is Mexican. Because any real Mexican would tell you that is not Mexican food. It is not authentic Mexican food. So, alright, so enough of that. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop the video today right here and make the rest of the day another video for the rest of the day. That way, this video is not that long. So yeah, like and subscribe. Sorry for rambling. Talk to you guys later.